still remember the look in my father's eyes that day. Disbelief, then outright contempt, as he spat the words that would haunt me for years. "You're wasting your life on some damn fool's dream. You're an embarrassment to this family." My mother's silence was worse. Her disappointment cut deeper than any insult. The others, friends, colleagues, even some strangers, echoed the same refrain: mockery, skepticism, pity. I was a fool for believing that plants could heal the land, that nature's quiet resilience could undo the damage of our greed. But I knew, deep down, I was onto something. I just needed the world to see it. That day, I walked away from the university lab, my heart pounding with the kind of fierce resolve that only desperation can forge. My reputation was shredded, dismissed as pseudoscience, as a naive idealist chasing rainbows. But I didn't care. I knew the truth. I was meant to do this, restoring what had been broken, healing what had been poisoned. I left that toxic campus behind, the echo of their laughter ringing in my ears, and I poured everything into my work. Years slipped by. I isolated myself, devouring research, experimenting with plants, testing soil, relentlessly refining my methods of phytoremediation, using hyperaccumulator plants to absorb heavy metals, to detoxify contaminated soils. It was slow. It was lonely. Every setback felt like a slap in the face, every failed experiment a blow to my confidence. But I persisted, fueled by visions of a cleaner, greener future. My future, my mission. I knew the skepticism hadn't just been about me. It was about challenging the status quo, about standing up against a system that valued profits over the planet. And then the breakthrough came. A small, forgotten patch of land, an abandoned factory site in my hometown, was transformed. The soil, once a toxic wasteland, blossomed with vibrant green. Trees grew tall, grasses thick and lush, wildlife returned in droves. My plants had done what everyone said was impossible. The community, the authorities, they all scoffed at first. But then they saw the land breathe again. They saw hope. Fast forward, my work gained recognition. Awards, grants, international collaborations. I became a leading voice in ecological restoration, proving that nature wasn't fragile but resilient if given a chance. But the most important victory wasn't the accolades. It was returning home, the place I'd been told I was wasting my life on, and showing my family what I'd become. Today, I pulled up to that same old street, my car humming quietly beneath me. I watched as my parents' house loomed ahead, much the same, yet somehow different. I stepped out, feeling the weight of years and the weight of their eyes on me. I was about to give them the truth they'd refused to see. Proof that the fool they mocked had become something real, something powerful. I knocked on the door. My mother opened, blinking in disbelief. Her face, once lined with disappointment, softened as she looked me over, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "Mom," I said softly, "can I come in?" She nodded, stepping aside. The living room was filled with an awkward silence. I could feel their eyes, heavy with curiosity and skepticism. Then I gestured outside. "Can you come see something?" They followed me out to the backyard, where the transformation was unmistakable. Once a barren, scarred patch of earth, now a lush, thriving landscape. The soil was dark and rich, dotted with wildflowers, young trees piercing the sky. Birds chirped overhead. A small pond where toxic waste had once pooled now shimmered with clear water, reflecting the sun. My father, a man hardened by years of hard labor and hard truths, looked around, speechless. My mother's hands trembled as she reached out, touching a leaf, then a flower, eyes wide with wonder and disbelief. This is real, she whispered. Yes, I said. It's what I've been working on. It's taken years, but I proved the skeptics wrong. Our people can thrive again. This isn't pseudoscience. It's proof that the Earth's resilience is greater than anyone believed. I told you I was doing something meaningful. Now you see it. In that moment, the past, the years of ridicule, the doubts, the family's silent disapproval crashed around us. Their faces flushed with a mixture of shame and awe. The weight they had carried for so long, thinking I was a fool, was suddenly palpable. My father looked away, struggling with a mix of pride and regret. My mother's eyes glistened, and she reached for my hand, squeezing it tightly. We should have believed in you, she whispered. We should have listened. And I realized something profound, that redemption isn't just about proving others wrong. It's about standing firm in your truth, about turning doubt into evidence, despair into hope. I had fought for this land, for these plants, for this future. And now, seeing their faces, full of remorse and awe, I knew I had won more than a battle. I had restored faith, faith in myself and in the power walking back into the house. I looked at my family, knowing I had delivered them a lesson they would never forget, that sometimes the greatest victories come from the most unlikely places, from the people the world has written off as fools. That true success isn't measured by applause or titles, but by the lives changed, the scars healed, and the hope restored. And as I sat down with my family that evening, sharing stories of our land's rebirth, I felt a profound sense of peace, because I knew beyond any doubt that I had turned my ridiculous dream into a reality, not just for myself, but for everyone who believed in the impossible. That's the real victory. That's the legacy I'll carry forever. And the world, my family included, would never